Hello and welcome back to another video. So I'm out in the silage field today that we are going to chance a second cut on. We weren't so sure if we would actually get to do it this week. There was an absolute deluge here yesterday evening. It was torrential. We haven't seen rain like that in a long time here actually. So we were a bit undecided yesterday evening, but we looked at, I'd say, 3 or 4 different weather forecasts. And it seems like we should get a window of 2.5 days. And that is enough to get this place cut and baled, hopefully. Some forecasts are saying there might be a chance of a shower in between, but hopefully it'll miss us. There is some nice heat there, a bit of sunshine, a bit of a breeze. It's fairly perfect. I'm in the wellies, but the grass is not overly wet at all. I thought it would be a lot wetter, so there has been some serious drying here today. Obviously, we're cutting a bit later in the evening to try and give the grass a chance to dry out, but in fairness, it's pretty good and better than I thought. So here we have 3 acres of the reseeded ground. The top half of this field was grazed after the first cut of silage, and the bottom half hasn't been grazed because we just haven't needed it. The plan originally was to just keep the bottom half of this field, about 1.5 acres, make a few bales out of it, just because we'll have too much grass otherwise, and we might as well get another few bales just in case it is a bad winter. But then we quickly realised that we really don't need this grass up here either, so we took this out as well, and we're just going to cut the whole lot. So we first cut here on the 15th of May, 15th or 16th, I think 15th of May, and then we grazed it once up here with the few cattle. It has gotten half a bag to the acre of 18,612 on the bottom half, that's it. And then up here, it got the half a bag to the acre. Then the cattle grazed it and it got another half a bag to the acre. And that is it. And we're all ready on the 1st of July, ready for second cut. Now, we could leave it another little bit, but it's getting very stemmy, whatever it is this year. All the fields are quite stemmy. I assume it's just with that amount of dry weather we've had. We have had a fair bit of rain throughout June, but it didn't really amount to anything. It was kind of a shower every day here and there. It wasn't good weather, but it wasn't like heavy rain or anything. That is the plan for today anyway. That'll be the most of this video, and I have another couple of bits to show you, but this will mainly be second cut silage on the 1st of July. And that's the job done. He's just after heading off there. It was a very quick job, in fairness, but sure, I suppose when it's only 3 acres to do, and it's not overly wet. Don't get me wrong, it's damp all right, but that's about it. There's been some great drying, and there's a nice bit of a breeze here now, on top of the fact that it's quite warm. So hopefully, as long as those showers miss us, we should be okay. So we will leave it down today, leave it down all day tomorrow, unless something changes with the forecast. And then we'll bale it the following day. So if we don't get the showers, it will be dry enough, without a doubt. Oh, this is wonderful. Just what my silage needed. And this is not the first shower today. Not good. Well, today is the day after we cut, and it all started so well. Yesterday, sun shining all evening. Well, the majority of the evening anyway. And it was hot with that sun out. Little bit of a breeze as well, kind of warm. Lovely. Got up this morning. First thing I did was pull up the blind to have a look. Lovely. Sun splitting the stones. I said, we've played a blinder here now. And then it all changed. I was below in Kenmare with work, and I'd say at about 10 o'clock there was a torrential shower, really heavy. And I rang Dad. I said, did we get that shower at home? He said there was a shower, but it was only a light shower, nothing major. So I was like, okay, grand. Then I went from Kenmare to Castle Island. And as I was coming into Castle Island, I could see the road was wet. In fairness, the road in Kenmare had dried by the time I was leaving. And was coming into Castle Island, and there was pools of water at the road, and I was like, oh no. And then it started heavily raining. Now, it was only a shower again, but it was a heavy shower. I didn't bother ringing Dad after that one because that's closer to home. So I said, surely we're after getting a bit of rain if that's the case. And then when I came home from work, it started raining here. Not a heavy shower, but not a very light shower either. But I was talking to Dad since, and he said that was the heaviest shower we got. And I'm up here now, and it doesn't look too bad considering. Like, that is really disappointing with that amount of rain, because I was expecting a shower, maybe, and we got at least 3. Dad's saying it was only 3. But it's not bad. Like, the stuff that's cut is really good stuff. It's really leafy, green stuff. All I would say is I don't think it's any drier than it was yesterday evening. But what is on top, you can see there is a decent wilt, jeepers. But yeah, it's definitely not sopping wet or anything at all, but it is that little bit damp. So hopefully now he'll come and rake soon. He is due to come rake this evening. It's pushing on now though. I'd say it's nearly 7 o'clock, so I might be asking Dad to make a phone call just to be sure, because it would be good to get it raked tonight. There is no rain forecast for the night, but who knows. Rain forecast then again from about lunchtime tomorrow, so if we can get it baled before that, we might get away with this. I think we will get away with it anyway, to be honest. It hasn't been ideal, but I think we'll be all right. With all the excitement of the silage, I almost forgot to move these guys. So they are going down into the next section. They spent, when did they go in? Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days up here. So if I can show you now, if it will come up on the camera. They're out of there 4 days. Look at the regrowth. Got no shake of anything. Unreal. Unreal. I know I keep going on about it. She must be sick of me. But anyway, we'll move these guys anyway. I'll just take off the reel over here and we'll leave them down into this. They'll get a week here anyway, I'd say. It's after coming back really thick. Maybe not as long as their first round in here, but definitely has come back a nice bit thicker since they grazed it. So it's looking good. And they've grazed this place down very nicely. Here as well, you'll see. They've done quite a good job. So we're going well. No. Don't you? Come on, Norms. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Easy, please. Hey, hey, hey. Easy, easy. Easy, 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 easy. Now you might have seen the white bullock there when he was going in. He's a bit loose, as you can see there. But let me go on the other side of him and I'll show you. I came up here yesterday evening with a bucket of nuts and I put him in front of him, and he's a flighty fella, and I dosed him. You can see the first lot kind of came off his back and down his side, but the second lot I got it right on his back. So I gave him about 50 ml because he's about 500 kg now, I'd say. But hopefully that'll do the trick on him, because I was saying the wet grass would be affecting them, but none of the rest of them are anything like him. So he was obviously in need of it. And yeah, it was either chance doing it that way, or else it was a case of wait until the silage is brought in and bring them the whole way down to the shed below, which we're at the top end of the farm here now, and it just isn't ideal. You need bodies to help with that kind of moving. So thankfully I was able to do that, and hopefully it'll do the trick. Sure, we'll give it a while and see. But yeah, that's that. I'm just down here with the other lot of cattle now, and would you trust those skies? Oh, we'll have to wait and see. Don't look great though. But anyway, I'm down here just to check the tail paint. So Misty's 21 days were up yesterday, so she's all quiet. Fingers crossed now. We'll probably watch her tomorrow again, and you would think after that we'll be fairly good. Isabella, the red and white, is her 21 days are tomorrow. All her tail paint is still there for now. I don't like how close Michelle is to her there. Well, she's not close to her now, but when I came into the field, she was very close to her. So, and with her, I'm nearly half expecting her to come back in, because she had the cyst, which is fine, and she was AI'd and everything was fine, but the twins have taken an awful lot out of her. And then she was up there and she was only feeding on silage rather than grass. So when I think about it, we did the wrong thing there with her. We should have, when we had other lots up for the AI, we should have brought them in, taken Isabella out and brought her back down here with the others, and maybe left Snowflake up there, because she's fat as a fool, and I don't think it would knock a whole lot off her if she went into that field. And she's been in calf for a while now. I think she's the first one to calve apart from the heifer above. So should have done that, but look, just didn't think of it at the time. But anyway, I did want to show you guys that experiment I did with mulching this side of the field and then not mulching this side of the field. But the cattle decided to ruin that part of my video by breaking up here yesterday and eating all the grass, so that I can't show you a comparison between the grass on both sides. But I do think they're kind of proving something at the same time, because when I came down here yesterday, every one of them were over on that side and there was nobody on this side. And it's the exact same thing today. Every one of them is on that side, and over here, apart from a bit here around where I'm standing, nothing else has been grazed. Really, you can see they've been lying down in some areas and things, but other than that, it's not been grazed at all. And I do think it's because the grass has just come back nice and rich after the mulching. Another thing you'll probably notice is over on this side is much cleaner. It's quite clean for rough ground compared to up there. It's gone very seedy. There's a lot of thistles in there that I've kicked the heads off so that they won't flower and things like that. But over here, the rushes have of course come back, but they're very light and there's a lot of grass in between them. Whereas over there, they're much stronger. I just can't imagine they're going to feed up there half as well as over here. And then one other thing I have noticed with the mulching in here, there's nothing left on the ground. So this would be a decent patch here of rushes. You know, they would have been quite strong when I came in. And there's nothing left on the ground. Like, it's like it has all, I can't see anything. It's like it has all just decomposed back into the ground. And I only did this, I'd say we're 3 weeks now since I mulched this. And I mean, even for the grass to come back as well as it has already. Now that, I cannot say that's because of the mulching, because I don't know. Because we have had amazing grass growing conditions for the past 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Since I mulched, probably, we have had ideal grass growing conditions. So I can't say it's because of the mulching that the grass has come back better, but I do think a combination of the two of them, just the organic matter going back into the ground, on top of that really damp, warm weather we've had, I think it's done wonders for the place here actually. But that's it. I'm looking at my calf with joint ill now. I'd be better off not looking at him if I'm being honest. You alright? He just looks up so innocently, but I don't know. I don't know about him. As I said in my last video, I'm just still not too hopeful for him. Like, he's trying to lie down there now and he's uncomfortable doing so, I'd say. Or is he eating? He's just such an awkward little fella. Not his fault, of course, but he's as awkward looking. When I came down yesterday though, he was having a great feed off Michelle, which is great because that's the first time I've seen him sucking in weeks. I could just never catch him sucking, so I'm glad I saw that yesterday. It's always a good sign, and I don't know, like he looks as well as I would expect him to look. But anyway, that's it down here. It's not raining yet. It's definitely, there is rain in those clouds. We'll see if your man's coming raking. I must go up to Dad and tell him to give a ring. I'm going to show you these two here though first. They're gorgeous. They're just such a beautiful pair. That's exactly what Misty looked like as well when she was a calf. She's some tank of a calf, I swear. She's one of the younger calves. And look at the size of her. She's just thick all over. Look at her neck even. She's a white Simmental. So the cow is a Charolais. And the Simmental bull, just that bull doesn't bring through the colour. Same as Misty, she's a white Simmental. And the bullock I showed above that needed the dose, he's a white Simmental as well. But I just think they're fabulous. Hopefully she'll be another great cow, just like Snowflake and Misty. And now the job is done. And look at that for weather. Well, just don't look up there at that cloud. But otherwise, you would never think there was showers today. It's looking quite good. As I said, it's not overly wet. A bit damp, yeah. Sorry, the light won't be great there now, facing that into the sun, so I'll go this way. I'd only be expecting, make your guesses now. I'm going to say 14 bales. I say that's all that'll be in here. Between 10 and 15 we'll go with, to give myself some chance of being somewhere right. But it depends, I suppose, how wilted it goes tomorrow as well. If it's a little bit damp going in, I suppose we'll get more bales, but if it gets a good drying tomorrow and a better wilt again, we'll get less. But happy with how it's looking. It should be good stuff. Now the job is done here anyway, all baled up. The weather, we are so lucky. The forecast is not what they had suggested today would be. Now I think they changed the forecast today for today, but originally they were saying that it would be rain at lunchtime, like a shower, and then more showers later on. That has not materialised at all. It is lovely and warm, good breeze there for drying as well, and nice blue skies and fluffy white clouds, which is exactly what we want. But it was really great for the silage. It just, what went into the baler was perfectly dry. It was absolutely ideal, and I was a bit doubtful yesterday, but it didn't rain on it last night or anything, so it got 24 hours of dry, and this today was just absolutely perfect, just what we wanted. Got a good wilt and everything. So we got 11 bales out of here, which is a bit less than I thought we'd get, but I suppose the fact that it was drier than I thought it would be as well means we got less bales, which is perfectly fine with me, because I don't want to be having more bales than we need. In terms of when they're that bit wetter, it's harder to pack them properly and things, so it'll be great now to have nice dry stuff again. Not as dry as the first cut, obviously, because I don't think that would be possible, to be honest. That stuff was pure dry. But yeah, the worst thing about having 11 bales is that Rob guessed 10 and I guessed 14. So he guessed right, and now I'm going to have to listen to him gloating, and he'll think he's great because he guessed so close. But I'll have to get over that one. But it works out at roughly 4 bales to the acre, because this is just under the 3 acres, so we'll say 4 bales to the acre. if we look at our first cut, and I mentioned it in that silage video we did, we got 4 bales to the acre on our old ground, not our reseeded ground. This field, I think, got 11 bales to the acre on the first cut, and now we're getting 11 bales out of the whole lot, which is funny. But I mean, totally different scenarios. But if you compare the first cut and this cut, on the old ground, it got 80 units of nitrogen, 80. This field got 18 units of nitrogen, and we've gotten the same return. Do you know, it's a no-brainer to reseed in my mind. And I know I keep going on about it, but honestly, it's probably the best thing we have done on this farm, you know, is reseeding, because the pressure it takes off. I mean, even the fact that we cut on the 1st of July, it's just such a quick turnaround. It's just not something we're used to here. I would say in previous years we'd probably be close to August that we'd be cutting rather than the start of July, the very start of July, the 1st of July. So it's great, and hopefully it'll mean that we won't be under pressure for grass now for the rest of the year. As I mentioned, at the moment we've too much grass, but it tends to come like that in farming anyway. But this should mean that as the growth starts to slow down now, we should still be in a very comfortable position for grass. We will not be doing a third cut, but we should be in a very comfortable position and need to use very little fertiliser from now on, if any, to be honest. This place will get slurry, hopefully tomorrow morning, if they can get to us, because there is rain forecast for tomorrow evening, and it would just be ideal to get it out and get it done and be done with this field and have it coming back, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, so the total tally for this year is about 120 odd bales, maybe 122 I'd say we have now. So we got 96 bales out of the first cut, plus the 11 now, and I think we have about 15 bales from last year. I know we've gone through a few for the cow with the sick calf and things, so maybe 13, but 13 or 15. So we're talking about the 120 bales, which should be loads for us, to be honest. Last year we had 102 bales, and I don't think we had any left over from the previous year, so it was just a total of 102, and then we had some left over. So and last winter wasn't a short winter by any means, so we should be very comfortable, very, very comfortable this winter, and it kind of protects us as well. If it does end up being a bad winter and they need to be in longer, we should still have plenty of bales, because we're not up on numbers this year or anything. So it's a good position to be in, and you know, at least that's done and dusted. We don't need to worry about that or having to think about maybe buying in a few bales or anything. They'll nicely fit in the yard as well. It'll be perfect. But yeah, that's it for now. If the guys come to lift the bales and I'm around, I'll stick the footage in maybe before this. If not, it just won't be there. I have an intruder in one of my fields that I have to try and get rid of now, so I might go down and try and do that and finish up a little bit earlier for the evening, which will be nice because it was a late one last night. But yeah, I hope this video hasn't gone on. I'd say it's gone on too long. I'm yapping too long now as well, but maybe I shouldn't have put in the other bits and pieces. I should have just left this as a silage video. I did want to show you an update on the reseed below as well, because there has been a big turnaround there, thankfully, because it needed a big turnaround. But if I include it in this, you'll be asleep by the end of it. It'll be 45 minutes long. So I'll leave that until the next video and leave this where it is now. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching. If you liked it, give me a like, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Thank you.